Hello, everybody. We're starting the conference with Chari, or Breatharian Yogini, right now. We're waiting for her to join. She's going to be online with us in a few seconds. And we're very happy to talk to her about the theme of how to deal with family relationships while you are on a pranic path or a spiritual path. As we know, this can be challenging for many. And so we are trying to discuss this topic. Bună seara, hello, welcome.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, now we hear you well. Thank you for being here. Okay.
Can you hear me? You can see me?
Seeing and hearing well.
Okay.
We'll just continue to present you. I started to present you, and then you can go on with
Okay.
your speech. And we have Radu, our translator here, that will catch up with what you say. So there's gonna be translation in Romanian. So if you can please stop after every phrase so that he can tell what you are saying, but in our language. Hi, Raki, and we're very grateful to have you here. Thank you for being with us.
Hi,
And
Christine.
whenever you're ready, whenever
Thank-
you're ready, we can begin.
Okay. So I just wanted to talk about how to handle family situations when
Mhm.
you're on the Breatharian path.
Yes, that was a very well chosen topic, as many people have challenges on this topic, I believe.
Right. So I had just got back from a family holiday, so it's kind of, thought it might be the pertinent thing to talk about. So um, it's different for everybody. So I'm going to talk about my experience, and for those people who want to, take anything out of that, and maybe they can use that for themselves. So if you're new to this Breatharian path, then it's different. And then if you've been on it for a while, it's different. So the first thing I would say is if you're new to this and you're on the Breatharian path, and say you're going to meet family, to tell them that you are basically trying out a new diet or doing a new detox, something that's temporary, so they don't get really worked up over it. So it's a very
Mhm.
temporary thing for a short amount of time. So
Yeah.
it gives them time to adjust to it. So say you're on a holiday, and they want to say you're in an Airbnb, and then you're cooking or doing something where the holiday is in one place. Then it's different as when you're on a holiday, when you're actually, eating at different restaurants all the time. So there are different ways to handle the situation. So for example, if you are in an Airbnb or a place where you're in one place, then you can make soups for yourself, you can make smoothies. So you're basically in control because you can do all these things yourself. So that's easier in a lot of ways. If you're in a place where, or should I stop so you can translate that? Okay. And if you are actually going to someone's place for, say, it's a holiday time and you're going to someone's place for dinner and they've invited you, then it gets a bit tricky. You can tell them ahead of time that maybe you're on a special diet and you're just going to have a soup. But if that's too complicated, what I have done is I have brought my own, like I brought carrot juice with me on occasions. And I'll just say, well, I'm on this special diet and I'm just having carrot juice for now and stuff. And so, it's not ideal, but people are going to look at you weird, but that's just the nature of being on this path, that they're going to do that. So that's one of the things that you can do is bring your own food, or if people are coming over to your place for the holiday, then you make things that you can share with everyone. Like, for example, if you can make a potato soup, that you don't have to have the solid food, but you can maybe have the potato soup with everyone. So no one thinks that you're not having and being part of
Yeah.
family.
Yes, I can add to that. I'll translate what you just said, and I can add from my own experience what happened. From my own experience, when I go to people's house, and especially when I enter a new house, I really don't feel to eat anything, or and it's really weird because sometimes they make barbecue or vegetables if they're vegetarian. I bring lemonade, and everybody loves lemonade, and or I make my favorite juice is pineapple carrot or pineapple mango or something with pineapple. So I make a diluted version of the smoothie so that I have enough for whatever they are, whatever number they are. And everybody's they like it so much that they don't even notice that half of the dinner they drink that thing and they eat less, and they don't really notice me I put something on my plate, and then I move it around and I go out and I get in and something like this. Or I say, yeah, I'm on a diet, this is what I eat now. I've been on health diet for a while, and it's very good for me now that I'm doing this detox. Everybody now knows about detox. Many people know about juice fasting. So if you say juice fasting is going to be a long conversation where everybody understands, they want they want the details, they want recipes. Fortunately, now people are much more open to fasting, all types of fasting and all types of juices and stuff, and they comprehend because they've heard it everywhere. 10 years or 15 years ago, it was, oh my God, like, are you dying? No, 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 it's just, I'm just doing this, for a while, it's gonna be okay. But now they're very open and they take notes. Like literally, they start to do it themselves and so on. It's such a blessing that humanity has evolved,
Absolutely, absolutely. And what I also find is that when you tell them that, they're very curious and interested because they want to kind of say, oh, well, you're looking healthy, you're looking good. So what is it that you're doing? And they would get even more curious. So I found
Yes,
that.
and you're getting younger and younger. That's the thing, because health or no health, they are not really interested. I mean, they would die eating pork and it's still okay for them. But if you're looking younger or skin shines, like your cheek are shining now, and my skin looks okay and so on. What are you doing? What are you eating? What's your face cream? And I say, no, I'm just using, argan oil for 10 years now. What are you doing? Well, I'm having juices. Ah, then we can start talking, about it. I'll
Right.
translate in Romanian. I'll translate in Romanian.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about if you're on a holiday and you have to go out to eat, how do you handle that? There are different ways to handle that. So, um, one of the ways is just to opt out and say you don't want to go out to eat. Um,
Mhm.
and I've
Mhm.
done that when many times. I remember once, I'll just give a story. Once, my son and my friend and I, the three of us were traveling, and we were in Spain. And I think it's difficult to get vegan kind of soup type things in restaurants. It's kind of difficult to get that. And I just kind of didn't want to bother with all that. And it makes it very restricting. So I just told them, you know what, I'm not hungry. You guys just carry on. And I just let them carry on. And I think it makes it easier for them as well. And as for me as
Ah.
well. So it's
Mhm.
just easier that way instead of, trying to figure out which restaurant to go to and this and that. It's just like, no, you guys enjoy and carry on. And so it worked out that way. So sometimes
Mhm.
you just opt out for that. So
Yeah,
that
the lucky thing is now everybody's doing like freshly squeezed juices. Like in Romania, most restaurants are literally doing at least orange juice and grapefruit juice that you can have. And if they have some soup in the menu always, and I can just go with the grapefruit juice for more than one day. It's okay. I mean, I didn't have that pressure, but also because in Romania and most countries they do have some kind of soupy thing, or they can try to make one.
Yeah. It's just, I think it was a little complicated. I felt that, if they were having a big meal and I was just sitting with the juice, it would make them feel awkward. So I just thought it was
Yeah,
easier just
sometimes
to
it's true. Yeah.
opt out. So I didn't go. And that's one of the things. Another thing, another example of opting out is I was on a holiday with a group and they were gonna have a pizza party. And it was like this is in the beginning when I first started, and I really
Yes,
liked
it's hard.
pizza. It was really difficult, and I was like, I told my friend, I said, they're gonna have a pizza party. I don't want to be sitting there as you guys are all eating pizza, and it's not
Including
fair
me.
to put myself in that situation. So I
Exactly.
said,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna opt out. I'm gonna stay in my room, but call me once the pizza's done, and then I'll come
Yes.
down and just join for the
Nice.
social. So,
That's much
so that's
better. Yeah.
something that you can do is opt out, and not put yourself in that situation where you're kind of not being kind to yourself. So
That's so true. Yeah. I personally do prefer to go after people have finished eating, just because sometimes, I don't like all the smells of the food. Some smells of the food are okay, and I like them, but if a house is really crowded with lots of smells, I get sleepy. And in restaurants too. I prefer to go in restaurants after the whole crowd is over. They have special meals time, like lunch time or breakfast time or dinner time. I prefer to avoid those times that are really crowded and it's all the meals and all the meat and all that stuff, because it's just the here and this. In my house, I don't have a lot of, I don't have smells of food. So
yeah,
and I'm in the mountains and it doesn't smell of food around me. So when I go in a place with lots of food smell, I get sleepy and I don't like to have it on my hair. So I go after it's finished with the big wave of food, and I go and take my juice or take my soup or whatever, and it's much lighter for the whole thing. But I don't avoid it completely when it's somebody's birthday or something like this. But if I can manage around the rush hours, I
yeah.
prefer to, be smart about it and not get crowded with all the food stuff. Yeah. That's also another way to do it.
So if you have to go to the restaurant with everybody and also have order a meal, then you can get a soup. Like I was in Thailand and we got, they have tom yum soup, they have tom kha soup, they have certain gravies that are very like gravy type, But so you can have that. There are also times where you may be tempted to say, oh, you know what, that looks good, or that vegetable looks good, or something like that. Especially in the beginning, you may be tempted, and maybe even not in the beginning, you could be tempted. And what you can do, and what I do, is I do this. I carry this thing with me. Okay. This is a cup and it expands into
Oh,
the cup.
okay.
Okay. And then I'll go to a restaurant like I was in Thailand and they had ordered like, I don't know, some stir-fried vegetable or something. And so like, in my family, they want me to have it. Now this is you can only do this if the people you're with are going to be okay with what I'm going to tell you
Because
or
you
show
can
you.
spit it out, I think. Yes?
Right,
Oh,
right.
okay.
So what I
Uh,
do, so I'm in a restaurant, so it's kind of like, they don't know what's in here, because this is what
yes.
you're spitting out, right? And when you're spitting it out, it looks like you're drinking, you see.
Yes,
But no
sometimes.
one
Yeah.
knows what you're doing. So this is
Uh-huh.
what I do. I keep this in my bag when I'm on a family holiday and they want me to go at a restaurant. So then I'll have it and even sometimes in the soup, they'll have solid pieces, which I don't want. So then I'll just spit it out, and it stays all in here. So that is only if the people you're with are not going to be completely grossed out by what you're doing. And if they are going to be, then maybe it's a good idea, not to
To
do
opt
that.
out. To opt
Out
out.
or yeah, yeah.
It's
But
interesting.
since my family kind of, you know, they
Got
kind
used
of
to it.
they're used to me and they're like, okay, whatever, then I can do all that kind of stuff. I can just, spit it out in here. So anyway,
That's interesting.
So this is, I call this my speedy cup, and it's kind of handy there, so it can just go anywhere. It's just there. So anyway, so that's what I do. If sometimes you do get tempted. There's something that smells good and you just want to put it in your mouth, and you don't want it in your stomach, but you want to just taste it and you can spit it out. So those are some of the things that I have done throughout the years, to help me get over this whole kind of addiction to food thing that goes on when you first start on this path. But to kind of let you know that when you're going to do this, it's not like you can be in everyone's eye, like they're always going to think you're a little weird. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're going to be normal in their eyes. You're just going to be weird. So this is
Mm.
all weird stuff, and so you just are a little different. And actually, there's a lot of benefits to being on this path. So to be a little different is okay, because there's so many benefits of being on this path. So it's okay. I mean, it's over time, what happens is you become more confident in who you are. When you first start off, you're kind of on shaky ground. But as you keep doing it, you become more confident in your path and in who you are, that it just becomes, people just kind of see your confidence, and then they don't kind of question you too much. So
Don't react to anything you do. They even want to learn about it. Yeah, I've
yeah.
noticed that too. Yeah, and you were talking about the benefits. Could you go back a little to that and please tell people what are your intake, what is your intake on that? What was your experience with the benefits that you gain over time with just being on liquids?
Oh my God, the benefits are just so much. I don't even know where to start. That's a great question. The first benefit is you're healthy. This, I mean, just all around, you're just healthy. You don't get sick as much. You're just more vibrant, and you have more energy. You don't need to sleep as much. Um, you you can survive maybe on 3, 4 hours of sleep. Like
Yeah,
that's kind of normal. Um,
awesome.
and you save money. You don't need to keep going out to eat, and there's so many benefits. And you don't need to go to the bathroom so often.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, don't we love
yeah.
that? And the
So
mind clarity.
yeah, the mind is so clear,
Oh yes,
and you don't feel like kind of
sleepy.
like brain fog or something. You're very
Mhm,
clear on things.
mhm.
Yeah, those are the benefits, the health benefits. And then, of course, then comes the spiritual benefits, where you're more connected and you're more heart-centered, and more synchronicities and more things start aligning for you, and more things start happening that are in your highest and best, and things just start happening, and you start manifesting, and
Oh,
all those things just kind of come together. And so it just makes life so beautiful being on this path, because it's I don't know. It's like the super highway to your true authentic self. Like, we are this, and then it's like we have to keep peeling the onion over and over. You kind of get to your true authentic self when you're on this path, faster than any other way I know how, to be on.
mhm.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so go ahead.
you want me to continue? So there's not too much more. Basically, I wanted to just say that this whole Breatharian journey, and this path is unique to me. I just kind of expressed the things that have worked for me, but
Mm.
this is unique to me. But this is an individual path. So I mean, things that may work for me may not work for you. And you may find your own way to navigate through this journey, but it's well worth it. So I just feel like these are just some of the things that I have done. So you can take from that, and you can add to that, or you can do your own thing. But you can make it very individual to what works for you. And so that's basically it.
Mix and match.
Yeah.
We can mix and match. Um, what was the hardest part in relating to your family or dear ones on this path? What was the toughest thing and how did you resolve it?
The toughest part was at the beginning, I kept losing weight. And I
Ah,
think they see you losing weight, they get worried about you. So I think
sure.
with me, the most difficult part was that I kept losing weight. And I was getting really, really thin. And they're like,
Mhm.
well, you need to start eating something, or when are you going to stop this thing of yours, and that kind of stuff, like, so that was a more difficult part. And I was like, okay, I need to stop losing weight. I don't know how to stop losing weight, but that's what was happening. So, but then over time, the body does stabilize, and it becomes easier then. So, but in the beginning, it was the weight loss, the visual of someone who was a certain way and just kind of shrunk, that was kind of very dramatic.
How long did it take until you stabilized? Because now you look very beautiful and nice weight. How
I
long
it
did
took
it take to
it
stabilize?
took about a year, a little over a year to
Ah, it's
stabilize.
not long. It's not long.
Yeah.
It's very good. Well, no, because we always have people who fear that or give up for that, or they just, are afraid that, oh my God, I'm gonna look like this for my whole life and it's gonna be bad. And
Yeah,
it
you did
stabilizes.
stabilize. Yeah. I mean, there are some people that are still struggling with it, but I have stabilized, and I think most people do stabilize. And they do put the weight back on, not the way it was before, but not completely what they came down to in the initial stages. So yeah.
Totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so true. So true.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 year is good. I mean, it's worth it. Totally worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe
Even
you,
a diet.
yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
I think about a year and a half or so. It took.
Yes, it's still good. I mean, even a diet takes sometimes longer than this to
Yeah.
stabilize. Either an upper weight or lower weight takes longer, to stabilize. So it's totally
Yeah.
worth it. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
yeah. So Rado here was sharing that his own struggle or quest is to gain weight, and he's trying to do that with food and eating a little more than usual. What worked for me actually, I lost a lot of weight in the beginning, and I was once at the Pranic Festival where I worked like non-stop doing conferences and therapies, and that's when I lost weight because I was all day in the heat and working with many people. So I lost weight because I didn't even take time to hydrate or rest or anything. And what worked for me was to then go for 2 or 3 days in the no 4 days in the sun on the seaside, and to only bask in the sun and pamper my body. And that's what made me gain weight. It wasn't extra food or extra liquids at the time. It was just pampering, resting, and taking on as much sun as I could. And I literally puffed up right away. And another thing, yeah, and it really works. Like for me, sun is very good. And another thing that worked a lot over the years is not work, but it surprised me when I prepare for events like a retreat or especially the Pranic festivals that are live. I cannot necessarily take more through my mouth, like more juice or more anything. In the summer I do a lot of watermelon juice. That's my main food, so to speak. But I puff out, probably I round up because of the energy that kind of stocks in me. It's like I'm
Interesting.
storing, some energy that then I have to radiate out to all the crowds that I'm going into, because you go through airports and trains and then public speeches and conferences. And during these travels and conferences, my weight gets back to normal. Like I'm becoming thin again. But you can see me like having a little belly or having, a rounder face. My body just rounds up to stocks make a stock of energy to have more for whatever it is that I have to do. So that's something that I've noticed over the years, and it's weird. Yeah.
Very, very smart body. Oh, wow.
Well, whatever is necessary. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have noticed that I just crave the sun. Like, I'm always wherever the sun is, I need to be in the
Yes.
sun. And
Yeah.
I'm always gravitating to the sun. Wherever's the sun, I need to be in the sun. I need to have some
Mhm.
sun on my body. And so before this path,
Journey,
I
yeah.
would avoid the sun. I didn't need the sun, but now it's just almost like, oh my God, I need to be in the sun. I need to be in the sun. It's because
Yes.
you're getting your energy from the sun. So I'm always in the sun. So
Yeah, and it calms me down, and it's like you're absorbing, like my body is doing It's very, very good to not necessarily just energy nourishment, but it also clears the auric field and it just balances everything. Like it's the perfect thing.
Ions and electrons.
Ce zici?
Ions and electrons.
Ions and electrons, yeah. Hai să spunem în română, Radu, și după aceea mai vedem dacă ce mai vorbim.
Ce ai spus tu, corect?
Am dus și am stat la soare și mi-am îngrijit corpul și mi-am făcut masaj 3-4 zile și efectiv s-au rotunjit toate lucrurile la loc când slăbisem foarte tare. Deci și așa se poate. Yeah. Yes. So sharing stories.
Very nice. I like the way you speak. I mean, I can't understand anything, but it's like, I like the rhythm.
Maybe you've been here before. In
I've been
Romania.
to Romania before, but yeah, I
You
mean,
have?
in this life, yeah.
I was thinking of other lifetimes, but it's great you've been in this life, and maybe you come in August for the Pranic Festival in Romania,
Oh,
so
yeah,
that we
maybe.
can have you here live,
Yeah.
15 to 18 August. But we'll talk about it. It's just I'm extending the invitation, like as we speak.
Thank you.
Can I add something?
Da.
Yes.
I add something about I heard about and I didn't see exactly, but the cats store actually the bad energy that cats are absorbing are stored in their fat. So if you have a fat cat, maybe you are very or something that your cat absorbs in terms of the negative energy. Do you know about that?
No, I've
Uh,
never. I know that cats are absorbing energy, but I didn't know they store it. So that's an interesting information. And there's many pranic people, the ones that are doing therapies like Reiki and stuff, and they channel energy through their bodies, but they also eat a little bit or more than necessary, and they get the more therapy they do, the rounder they get because they eat from two sources, they could actually stop eating because they already have a lot of energy running through their body while they're doing their work, so that could be nourishing them, and then you eat from your plate and the body stores it as fat. So once you stop eating the extra food and you're good with what you got during the therapy, I always say to those people, you're eating from two sources, that's why you're getting fat. Stop eating from the second source, you don't need it. So is there anything else that you feel to share, or is anything important?
I think that's about it. I think this is for those that are interested, but it seems too much to do. I think doing intermittent fasting, just cleaning up your body slowly, gently. I think that's the way to go. You don't have to feel like you have to go all the way. You can just, start fasting maybe, 18 hours a day or something. And then just go from there, see how your body's feeling, and it's a journey, so just go slowly and be gentle and be loving, and you'll just see improvements. As you see improvements, you may want to do more and more and more. So yeah, that's just health is wealth. So in this day and age, health is very important with so many things going on, the toxicity around us. So I think health is really important. So yeah.
That's so true. Yeah, and now you have like since 2018, I think it's almost 6 years, no, or 7 years since you don't have solid food, you just have
Yeah.
liquid.
It's been six, yeah, almost six and a half years, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that,
wow.
yeah. That's a
Yeah.
long time. That's nice.
It's amazing.
Uh,
It's amazing.
I hear people telling me sometimes, and I know it's fake, but I'm just bringing it to the table just so that it's demystified. Oh, there's been studies now that juices are making your liver, are pushing your liver because they're bringing too much this and too much that, and actually, a juice every day is too much for your liver. That's what some people are saying. Or there's been studies that your pancreas cannot process something and something that you're
What kind of
having.
juice?
No, it's just don't mind about it. I'm just telling Rakit so that we bring this to the table. Juices in general, fruit juices especially. That's what people are.
Absolutely.
So, what's your ideas about it? Given that you're doing it for 6 years and you're looking great. And I remember first time I've interviewed you because we had a summit or something in 2017, or no, it was I think 2019 first time we spoke. But you were so radiant and happy like you are now, and I was not as happy at that time, and I was looking and say, oh my God, such a good state to be in. She's just smiling all the time. So that's what I remembered, because yeah, it's such a great state to be in. But what about the juices and the studies? Do you know about it?
Yeah, I think there's always I just think there's a lot of misinformation. They say, oh, studies have shown this, studies have shown that. It's like, studies have shown anything. You can find any study that's going to show anything you want to believe.
Yeah.
There's going to always going to be some study out there that's going to show this or that. But I think you just become healthier and you
Yeah.
just change your diet and you're just going to know, not look at studies have shown, but just go based on how you feel. And if
Mhm.
you cut out all the maybe the grains, some people they just need to cut out some of the grains and just go a
Mhm.
little lighter on your diet and then you just feel the difference and you'll want to have the juices, not the pasta or something.
Mhm.
So you will
Absolutely.
see change in yourself if you just go lighter, that's all. And the studies have shown that maybe it's unhealthy to have juices, but you know what? Studies have also shown that having pasta is also not good. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You have
Like, what do you prefer?
yeah, right. So just get lighter on your diet and your body will speak to you and you'll know
Yeah,
what is.
that's the best thing. Yeah, and you're the living study of, we are the living study that this doesn't hurt us, we are
Yeah.
alive.
The,
Woo.
the studies the studies are made are specifically and made by them.
Well,
Ex-
yes, but also people, love to like when you are when you are on a vegetarian diet, they will tell you that there's pesticides in fruits and vegetables. So there's always a study that proves that it's best to eat pork, but then when you eat pork, you die. So that's the best study that's not working, like study it on yourself. That's what I
Right,
say. You study it on yourself, see how
right,
it goes.
right,
That's
right.
the
I
best
mean,
study.
studies are always going to show they're going to contradict themselves. Studies show this, studies show that. I don't know. I mean, I think you're right, Christiana. You have to study yourself, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, including my brother who's a doctor, and he's been in the Pranic Festival since he was born. Like he has 7 years in the Pranic Festival. But once he said maybe your liver could be suffering because there's studies about sweet juices pushing your liver because they have too much sugar, something like that. That was the conversation. Yes, you
Your
are
own
your doctor, yes, but we do warn people that this is not a medical advice at all. What we're talking about here is just some experiences that some people have done, and most of them have had great results with it. So the people that I brought in this festival have had great results with liquid diet and fasting and breatharian or pranic nourishment. Other people who did the same things did not have a great result. Some have died, so that's also a warning. So we must say every truth that has been on this path so that you can choose, and best to have someone to coach you, or at least, someone to call when you don't feel so well and ask some questions. If you do it by yourself and in your own head, you might make mistakes and you might damage your body. So that's what we say to people always, that there's also a warning that comes with this. And it's best to be in a community or have someone near that you can that has more experience and can guide you through this at the beginning. Yeah.
So that's one of the things I've done when I was starting on this path. I didn't see anyone documenting their journey. So that's one of the
Mm.
things I'm doing on my YouTube channel is I'm documenting my journey. So when
Mm.
someone is doing it, they feel like, okay, in 1 year, what progress did she make? Where was she? So, they can have a kind of a point, like a focal point to maybe go to and say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going through similar things as someone to kind of reference kind of, oh yeah, I did this. I'm also doing this. So it's kind of good for anybody who is on the pranic path. If they want to see my journey, I have documented it on my YouTube channel. It's Breatharian Yogini.
Breatharian Yogini, yes.
And I've documented from the day that I was at the Pranic Fest, at the retreat. So
Oh,
my
wow.
day by day from until now, from then until now. So I've documented the whole thing. So if anyone's
Wow.
interested in knowing, all the different ups and downs and all the trials and tribulations that I've gone through, you can go on the YouTube channel and find all about all that. So yeah.
That's so interesting. So 6 years of, direct documentation on how this worked for you. That's very great. We are grateful for that. All right.
Great. Well, Christiana, I want to thank you for inviting me and doing all that you do for the Pranic Breatharian community. So I wanted to thank you for all that you're doing. So
Yeah, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to have you here. Looking forward to seeing you again in August, hopefully live, since you've been here before, you know how beautiful Romania is. So
mm,
hopefully you can come back here on August 15 to 18 to be with us. And also you'll always be our guest in our online events as well. Thank you for being here.
thank you
And
so
thank you
much.
for documenting your journey in a very realistic way.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thanks to Radu for translating. I appreciate all that you
So
guys
much.
do. Thank you so much.